everyone, welcome to Sage Online Academy. Today we're going to talk about the Java variables. Okay, so you have to take this lesson so serious because variables are the ones that we are going to use to store all your values while your program is executing. So you have to know all your variables in presentation. Okay, so Java variables. A variable in Java is just a memory location. Okay, what do you mean when you say a memory location? It's just a memory which is going to be reserved to store your value. A variable is a container which holds the value while the Java program is executed. You need to, when you run your program, you need to insert some values in your variable or the data that you want to use. Okay, you want to insert it in your code. You insert it through the use of what? Of variables. So it holds the value while the program is being executed. That's where we use our variables. So here in Java, we've got three types. We've got only three types of variables, which is the local, instance, and the static. So we are going deeper now into these three types, and you see what are they. Also, we have got two types of data types in Java, which is the primitive and non-primitive data types in Java. We are going to look on it later. So, types of variables. So we are going to start with there are three types of variables, which is local variable, instance variable, and static variable. So we are going to start with the local variable. What are local variables? A local variable is just a variable that we declare inside the class board, but inside what? Inside the methods, the board of a method. A variable declared inside the board of the method is called a local variable. And this variable, you have to know that other methods will be not aware about that variable. It will be only a variable which will be known to that method that you declare within. Okay, so you can use this variable only within that method, and the other methods in the class are not even aware that the variable exists. So that's local variable, and I'm going to show you what they look like. Okay, also you have to know that local variable cannot be defined with a static keyword. Why? Because the static keyword normally states that that variable will belong to a class. It will be object free, and it will be not belong to a method. It will be belong to what? To the class. So you don't need to mark, or you cannot be able to mark the local variable with the static keyword. It will produce a compilation error. Okay, so example of a local variable, how does it look like? Here you see we've got our int n here, variable n, which is an integer type. This is the data type we are going to talk about this later, which is being initialized to 90. This is an example of a local variable. Why? Because it is declared just inside this method, code method, this void method. You see, all these ones, we are going to talk about them in the next few minutes. So we are going to talk about instance variable. What are instance variables? Instance variable are the variables that we declare inside the class, but outside of any body, or outside the body of methods, like even outside of the constructor again, or any blocks. Those are instance variables. Okay, so it is not declared as static. Oh, you have also to know that it is not marked as static, because if you mark it static, it will be belonging to what? To the class. It will be not belonging to a certain object or to a certain instance. Okay, so it is called the instance variable because it is its value is instance specific. What does it mean when they say it is instance specific? Which means its value it is going to store, it is going to be particular to point to a certain object. For example, me, if we are talking about a class of students, like me, I'm a student called Ezekiel, might have another student called Jimmy. Okay, so he's if we have an instance variable of a, if it is a string of a name variable, okay, which means it is going to store my name as an object, Ezekiel, okay, which is a specific instance, and then the other one, it will be store the name for Jim, which is a specific what instance. That's what does it mean. So here you've got an example of an instance variable. You see, it is just inside the class but outside of any board. If we are going to have some methods, they will just go just below the declaration of what, of instance variables. Okay, we normally call them the data definitions of a class. They hold the states of a what, of a class. That's our instance what, instance variable, and you have to know that they are they will be used by what, by objects, or they define the state of what, of an object. Like, is it if it is a person, okay, is it a male, is it a male, or what is his name or her name, all those things. Okay, and then let's move on. We are going on static variables. What are static variables? Static variables are just variables that we declare with the static as a keyword. If you put a static keyword on a certain variable, it will be what? It will be a static variable. It cannot be local. You have, I think I've already emphasized on this point that we cannot mark the local variables as static what, variables. Also, you can create a single copy of a static variable and share among all the instances of the class, which means because a static local variable, a static variable is a class type, which means it can be shared among all the instances holding a common value, rather than the instance variable which will hold a specific value. It can hold the static variable can hold a common value for all instances. Okay, so memory location for static variables happens once when the class is loaded in the memory. Okay, then this is an example of a static variable. You see that it have got this keyword static int for integer data type, with the variable, this is the reference variable m, okay, the reference name m, which is being initialized to 100 by this initialization operator. Okay, then let's move on to data types in Java. These data types, what are data types in Java? Normal data types in Java, they are now trying to define the size and the values that can be held by what, or that can be stored in a what, in a variable. Like we have been talking about the types of what, of variables that we have: local, static, and instance. But apart from that, those variables, they have got their data type. What is the data type for that variable? Which means now we are talking about the size, or the type of value, or a certain value that can be stored in the variable. Okay, so there are two types. We have the two types of data types in Java, which is the primitive data types and the non-primitive data type. So what are primitive data types? So the primitive data types include the Boolean characters, byte, short, integer, int, long, float, and double, while non-primitive data types include the classes, interfaces, arrays, strings, is going like that. So now we are going on the Java primitive data types. In Java language, primitive data types are the building blocks of data manipulation. That's where we do data manipulation in the primitive data types, normal, even addition, subtraction. So these are the most basic data types available in Java language, which is here we've got what, 8 types of primitive data types, which is we have a Boolean, byte, character, which is short, int, long, float, and double. So let's look on a Boolean data type. Here on a Boolean data type, it only stores two values, which is true or false. So the Boolean data type is used to store only two possible values, which is true or what, or false. This data type is used for simple flags that take true or false conditions. So if it is true, let's do this. If it is false, let's do this. Or for a certain flag to reflect a certain event that have happened, is it true or false? It will then return true or false if a certain event what happens. So that's an example of a Boolean. How do you declare a Boolean variable? You can specify here by using Boolean. Here we have got the Boolean 1 is equal to, is initialized to false, not is equal to, but is initialized to false. Okay, then let's move on to byte. A byte data type, it is an 8-bit signed 2's complement integer. Its value range lies between this and this, but its minimum value is okay. But here the most important thing is when we use the byte data type commonly. So the byte data type is used to save memory in large arrays where the memory savings is most required. When you're up to saving the memory in large arrays, you may opt to use what? To use a byte. Why? Because it saves space, because a byte is 4 times smaller than what? Than an integer. This is a tip behind the use of what? Of byte data type. So it can also be used in a place of int data type instead of using an int, because int can consume a lot of what? Of space. You can use a byte data type. Okay, example, byte A is equal to what? Is initialized what? To 10. Byte B is initialized negative what? Negative 20. You can use all this. Okay, yeah. So here we have got the int data type, which is most commonly being used by all programmers. So the int data type is generally used as a default data type for integral values. We use it for integral values, the exact value. So its default value is 0. This one is the one that it is initialized when you declare it. Okay, so int A is initialized to this number, which is 100,000, and int B initialized negative 200,000. So which means integer int can take a negative value or a positive value, and these one are not float numbers or double values, but are integral values, which are whole numbers or exact numbers. Okay, and then you are going on a double data type. So the double data type is a double precision 64-bit floating point. Its value range is unlimited. The double data type is generally used for decimal values, just like float. We normally use the double data type for those numbers which are not exact. Okay, and you can opt to use a float or the double. So the double data type also should never be used for precise values such as currents. Its default value is 0.0. So here what are they saying? We have to use the double data type for values which are not exact. Okay, so example, double D1 is initialized to 12.3. That's a type of a double value. So here we have the car data type. This one, car data type, you have to take note of this, because this data type normally it have got some methods which normally work in hand with the car data type when you are when you are doing what strings. I think you have to know this data type. So the car, and you have to take it. So the car data type is used to store characters. Example, car letter A is initialized a character A. That's how you declare and initialize the car data type. Okay, so here is the end of my presentation. I have to say thank you guys for watching this video. So keep supporting me, and also don't forget to like and put a comment and subscribe to this channel. So I have to say thank you for this. In our next lecture, we are going to look on the naming conventions of our variables that we are talking about, and also I'm going to do the other one, the non-primitive data types, which are